Hello, now then, welcome back. This is episode 9 of the Ridgeside Farm hard mode Folktales playthrough. Last time we did quite a bit, I think. Obviously the old, storage for the water was finished and all the flooding seems to stop, which is nice. And we also started to expand the thing because that's going to be important for long-term issues such as this 25 days, I think it was, bad tide. While I'm rambling, I may as well get the beavers running. It is nearly morning, so they can get on with some stuff. We also started to improve the situation around here for getting some of the major industries done. We are making science out the wazoo, thanks to the old observatory here. And we also started to make a swift and steady move into getting some of this good stuff built for powering this, because today, I suppose also I should mention that we now have zip lines. These things will make our lives much, much easier. Now, by our lives, I mean the beavers, because let's face it, walking 1,000 miles might be good for a certain singer, but not good for the beaver's little legs, although they are apparently 9 foot tall, which, if you came across one, would be horrifying. But anyway, these will eventually connect up together, so they can get up this cliff probably a little bit easier as well. Maybe worth saying that that's a little bit more important. Let's just set it back to that. And I'll get to it as and when they can. This is going to take some finagling to get this truly piped in, but once that is done, we can at least get that on the case. We can put a tank here for extract, although we could have done had it not been situated in such a terrible, terrible position. You can sit next door. We'll worry about it another time. Anywho, where was I? Yes. So today, the main goal of today, which I believe we may have unlocked last time, we did. We are now going to create the farms on the ridge side of the cliff, which was the whole point of this here playthrough. And to do this, we're going to use our good friend the tunnels, and I'm going to cut in to the hillside, ridge side here. I'll leave this one on top. I'm not going to build anything new on top of it, although we could. And basically also going to cut into underneath this, because the water sources are way out the way, so it's not going to be a problem. So we can use most of this. And I would like to isolate these from the bad water, which is probably something we should be doing sooner rather than later. Though I'm not entirely sure the best way for us to achieve that, given the layout of the land, so to speak. But we did also have a suggestion from last time, and that was these up here are getting cut down, and they shouldn't be. I mean, we're not in any desperate rush for pine resin, but it is a valid and fair point. So why not say, cut me not these? I may as well say that we can take those out. I will just unplant this one. But I will mark it for cutting, as I do not want it there. And I'm not particularly willing to rip it out, but that can be cut down. There's a couple of trees we can plant up here as well, so let's just find the pines and just quickly throw those in. This guy should be able to hook us up. I suppose we should make use of this little extra space that I put in before, so they can plant that. That's now connected, so this should reach nicely. That should alleviate anyone coming up this way at this point, which seems to be the case. Coolio. Right, so also, if we are going to make use and benefit of any of the landscaping stuff here, obviously you're going to need the extracts, the dynamite, and planks are still a problem. I think it's just going to need to be thrown, well, not thrown, but certainly improved somewhat by just having more lumber mills to get that done for us. But while this is here, let's just quickly get what we need put in for this. Now, again, this is going to have to take a bit of painful finagling, but they should be able to reach it. Question mark. Just please do this. It's going to take a bit of work for him to do it, but is what it is. There we go. So let's just quickly pause that so they don't get too excited. And finally, we can get this one. And this should be able to chug along beautifully for anything we'll need it to do and make for us. Which should be about now. There we go. So we need somewhere to put all this, as we can only store 20 in it, which is kind of useless. However, it's just going to be straight to giant tank, I think, for this one. So let's just chuck her in there and say extract. Do we have storage for it already? Or is it just what's in here? Yeah, I think it's just what's in there. Anywho, they can get this built. We, again, don't have... what do we do? Do have everything for that? Metal blocks? Yes, we do. Actually, that shouldn't take them too long. We also increased storage capacity. We put the biggest warehouses humanly, beaverly possible in here. So, logs, we probably do with some more log storage, if I'm totally honest, but no real way to hide that down here, as that is full. However, let's just see how the system's doing. This is 100%, so we're working at full tilt. This is... We've got another 500 to play with before we'll have to do anything particularly funky. We're getting some more power wheels in, though we can, as that was the whole point of leaving a bit of space here. So that should increase it quite a bit. That should hold out for a little bit longer. These died because this dried up. We had it when I think it was a drought last time, and that pretty much killed all the ones around here. But we do get the logs out of it still, so it's not so much of an issue. It's just that we don't have anywhere to put, well, the logs. I'm just trying to think if there's a nice way we can fix that. Pause those because there's nothing in there. Is there anywhere where we can stick logs? They're out the way. Don't worry too much about that being filled anymore. Probably will end up being over here somewhere, but it's kind of a... We'll get to it when we get to it, I suppose. Construction-wise... we could do printing press, but I'm not sure whether we're going to do bots, so I'm not going to concentrate too much on that. We do... Well, we don't. But if this ever runs out, we do need to find our way to this mine over here, but we also have this scrap metal as well. We can't get across. Oh, and actually, that's a total lie. Yes, we can. I did leave it in. Happy days. So, yes, I think from a heavy industry point of view, short of bots, I don't think we are going to worry too much about them yet. Let me know if you do want bots, and we can see where we can squeeze them. They'll fit in somewhere. But with our ever-growing extract stash-ish, we can begin to make this area a little bit more, well, conducive to farming, to be fair. What I am going to say, and I don't know if they'll be able to build them, at least on that side. I do want to hold back some of the water here, so just thinking what the best way to do this would be. I could sluice it and just have them pointing this way. And let them fill up as much as humanly, beaverly possible. I could dam it also. But I think the sluice is the better option for us here. They don't all need to be sluices. These are just basically going to stay open forever. If there's water coming down here, there'll be water in here. We could also use our little trick to get a separate little pit down in here for an extra bit of water storage to keep the area green. Probably not so much of a problem. But I do think it wise to potentially do something here with a water dump. But one thing we do need to figure out is, and I don't think there's any farms nearby to cause this to be a problem, but we need to figure out heights. So let's just say, got a carrot, got a sunflower, got a tater, got wheat. We're not going to be growing those, or cattails. Or are we? Not sure. But I don't know if this is going to work. But let's just see if... have I unlocked any of these? I have not. So apparently we can grow above all of these. I don't believe you somehow. Ah, okay, so that was what? So we need, I believe, too high at that point, so let's just quickly test that. And go back to the crops, sunflowers. So we need too high for sunflowers. So that kind of sets our mark for this first level, I think. I would like to get the sunflowers in sooner rather than later. So I think the best way to achieve this is going to be... where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Tunnels. So I think if we just basically come into this level and just sort of say goodbye to all of this, just scoot down to that level. So effectively we've got all of this to play with, which is a hell of a lot of space. So we are going to need to be somewhat cautious of what we take out. There is probably an easy way of doing this. But I'm not going to mess with it, because I don't want to. Just lay these in. And these areas will change. We're probably not going to plant all sunflowers down here, because that is a hell of a lot of sunflowers. This is also a hell of a lot of stuff, so it's probably going to be... actually, I suppose we could do that. And let's just say that. So initially, we will take these down. Oh, chimble all this out. We'll end up with 1,000,001 planks, which we do not have. But they'll get to it eventually, and we can use it as they get going. So I think what we'll say is they start here, and then we'll see where they get to. We have to take the next layer down anyway. So there's going to be a bit of bodge jobs when it comes to dealing with, well, any of it really. Get rid of that. Right, so there is a mission done for them. We are going to need this guy back on. He's going to need some help, I think. So what do you need? Bad water. So let's just say I can't find anything, which is pretty much a given. Build me this for bad water. Like that, progressing a little bit better. And then here, it's going to be... if we get that done, you can be 4 explosives. Obtain. We need a tank. Let's say that you're going to be 4 that. The hauler's going to basically earn their keep here, so we also need planks over here, so storage. I think there's a particularly nice place we can put this. So it'll have to be that. Obtain planks. Yes, please. So it's done. And then this one should get done pretty quick. Let's go. Just hit it with a hammer, please. That'd be lovely. Anytime. Anytime. Thank you very much. Lovely. So yes, it's going to be a case of seeing what we can do. And I know there's not sure of the exact number of overhangs, but I'm just going to blast it out and worry about it later. Because ideally we'd want some of... so we've got... That's layer 1, 2... and it starts to cut into there. So there's at least 2 layers here, I think. Well, there's definitely 2 layers here, but anyway. I mean, I've never been convinced of the mechanics of holding up an entire mountainside with, well, 6 chunks of wood, but the beavers have the power, so I believe in their ways. So we may need to put them back in. It's worth the headache now. I'm not sure. Because I mean, in theory, it's... I mean, we could just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if... 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess this won't be. I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what the exact overhang is, but I mean, in theory, I mean, there might need to be one in the middle, I suppose, but I don't know. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be very wrong. There's probably a better way of doing it than doing it, to be fair, but bear with me. That should have been solid. Should be earth, but we don't have any, so that's maybe something we should look to get, to be fair. Hopefully you can see the vision. That might not work. Yeah, we'll take them out. Then, instead of worrying too much about these bits, we'll just say goodbye to those. Now, I'm not sure if that'll support it, but we'll see. So, let's get them cracking with that. But yeah, that's going to pretty much drink all of this. Yeah, we can reclaim some of the goods eventually. I'd like them to finish this, please. So you can at least, you know, progress. Why they refuse to do that? Yeah, we are going to need... no, we won't, because they could just come in that way. Never mind. So, yeah, that mission will take them 100 years. I'm confident that they can do it. We're going to have to obviously play with the paths, but that's going to be generally standard headache for tunnels. But we'll leave them to it. I mean, that'll probably carve out some of this. I'll leave it be for now. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to go and look at moving into dirt excavation to fix where I've broken exactly where everything needs to live. But anyway, so they are coming along with this quite nicely. It's too far. Tell me again how this is too far. You just need to finish this. Are we out of wood? No? Okay. Ah, that's got a higher priority. I would, pun intended, like this to be done first, so... Finish me this. Let's see, we've got 9 days left, and we are just about towards the bottom end of that. Okay. Now we can, in theory, cut more of this down with dynamite. Don't think we're going to, but we could. Cool. Alright, so the namesake of the series is now in progress. It's just going to be all hands on deck for planks and extract and pretty much everything else. And bad water, which is probably going to need a second pump, I think. Is it worth finagling with that now? Probably so. Let's just get this built. This should be about done. And what we can say is once they've finished building these layers here, we can just, well, either blast these away and make it one big reservoir, which is probably what we're going to do. And there'll be plenty of wood in storage at that point, so I'm not sure if it's worth trying to save it all. Probably is. So now that that's done. logs there, so I wonder if we just use the old... Use the old trick to get everything picked up, and then in here, I don't think there's a simple way to do it, but let's just say goodbye to all of this. Thanks. That's exactly what you shouldn't have done, but steady yourselves now. Should have paused that. Should have seen it coming. All of these should be reachable for anyone that needs it. Coolio. So that's the dam in the middle gone. Everything is somewhat reachable. We're full on storage anyway, so that's not a problem. We could probably say that having them stored somewhere else might be much more of an advantage for us. You should be set to supply, you should be set to obtain, which you are. We still only have 10 haulers, which isn't a great deal, so we're probably going to need to look at expanding these numbers again. But I think to give me that warm, fuzzy feeling of security, we're going to need another giant tank of water here before we do anything. What are they? They'll be working on this still, won't they? So let's just zoot underground, and they'll be telling me I don't have the access to get to anything because we've run out of paths. That's fixed now. I think this is going to get stuck behind planks, which it likely will do, and is definitely going to be a problem for us. So, sparkly planks haven't been used for anything, but we are not making any. Don't think they're used for anything, so that's not a problem. So I think it's just going to be a case of putting in 2 of these. Again, we don't particularly have the beavers for it, but we need to do something about this. So I'm going to call this area fixed, rightly or wrongly. Yeah, and I'm going to place that there. Not sure if we need the paths, but it's going in anyway. Okay, let's zoom back up to the top. So we're out of water here. This is probably going to get sucked dry very soon. Let's just pause that. So we'll drink into our reserves and get them back pumping. I would like to see these done first. Followed by this. That's going to be by haulers, which is okay. Not sure exactly where they're going to rip that from, but that'll be okay. These are going to be fine. Might be a problem. Well, certainly the old size would have been a problem for the old size reservoir. For this, for drying it out. However, now that it's more than doubled in size, I think we'll be okay. Are they pulling these out of? I'm not sure. Leave them to it, I suppose. Fine. We can have the haulers doing that as well. We do need another hauling post. That is a guarantee. Where to stick them? That's the question. I suppose they can just live down here. So there's a lower priority, no, normal construction, lower priority workplace. It'll probably complain and moan about lack of jobs, but it'll be fine. See how they get along here, quite nicely. Yeah, it's just going to be blanks. I think that's going to be holding us up pretty much forever. We can, well, assuming I've done the layout correctly, we can claim all of those planks back. Which is where the 1,000 in here should come in quite handy. 2 days left. There is... And I did get that done, lovely. I would very much like this to be gone, but no one in here? Are you full? We're full on Spadaduck, aren't we? Yes. So, we could store it somewhere else. Probably should say then that this should be for grilled. And it shouldn't be built there at all. It should be built there, and then we can put something that side. It's 1U. Not 1U. That'll work. 1 square, 1 tile. I know what I meant. Yes, there's quite a bit of construction left for them to achieve that. It's going to need some. So that's why that's not being built. So let's just get that sorted. Right, so all of these dries anyway. We may beat the timer. I don't think we will, but we might. We can't splash anything down here anymore, can we? Nope. Took all of that jazz out. If they die, they die. It's okay. It's okay. No major issues with it. We're full on it anyway, so... Have we got the 2 going? Yes, we do. And some may survive. No, none of them will. Okay, some will. But nothing this end. Never mind. Turn this back on, this back on. I would also then like to see this being done next. don't need that path there, do we? Let's just get rid. So yeah, as I was saying, we need to not bad tide, but contamination proof this area. So we need to separate these from everything else. And I'm not entirely sure the best way to achieve that. Because contamination barriers only really work there, and I don't think we can separate the area out. I could be wrong. Nice to go all the way down, but I don't really want to do that either. Maybe that when we get down to this level, we could dig in a bit and just put it around it, potentially. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what that looks like when we get to that problem, I guess. Let's just see if I were to delete... That is technically only the planks. Obviously, they come from that. So maybe I've done it right. Maybe I've done it right. I thought it was either 5 or 6. I can't remember. But this is looking good. Halfway full. 2 days in. Why are you flooding here? Can you tell? Ah. Well, colour me embarrassed. If one goes away... Well, that's kind of told us exactly what needs to happen down here then. Okay. I guess we should unlock the floodgates, seeing as we've not got any at the minute, and just lay these in. Like these done next. So we have quite a few baby beavers, so we'll leave those alone. I think that'll be fine. Let's just see how far cooked these are. 1, 2, 3. Maybe not too long before they're in the workforce. Goods that got built. I should disappear into other jobs as needed. Are they 8? 7, so where else aren't they working? That's flooded. Why are you actually flooding? I mean, that shouldn't be causing a problem at the minute, but fine. Let's just find the right one. Put that in, I guess. Not sure why that is surging quite so much. It shouldn't be. I mean, they're not even built yet, so odd. So these two giant large water pumps paying us dividends to replenish the stocks, which is exactly what we want to see. Power is still running at 100%. These guys are spitting out planks. Still not really enough, but let's make this a hauling problem. Not as many guys in here, but never mind. Alright, so we've got 1, 2 that are done. Near enough. So they should be absorbed by the holding post. would like this done next. Ah, is the flooding because this is overtopping? Yeah, it probably is, to be fair. Alright. I'll let it off. Yeah, alright, fair enough. I see what they're getting at. It's drought, okay. Yep, still seems to be the case that it's only going to take out planks. Maybe I've done that right. Cool. Alright, done something right for a change. This is what I like to see. The smelter is turned off. So that's not a problem. Are you getting fixed? No, there's spare ones anyway, so that's okay. Kinda. It's what it is. Yeah, so the 9 vacant jobs is this thing. Right, that's fine. I'm happy to have it saying we've not got 9 unemployed. This is just a buffer zone, so that's okay. Right. That's finally gone from up here, so in theory we can put in another giant one of these. Which I am going to place, but I'm just going to say when you get to it. As I would like... Hopefully this isn't too much of a problem and it outflows nicely. We should up to 0.8. Okay, we seem good. We seem stable. I will take it as a win. We could... Do we want to mess with it again? Not sure that we do. But maybe we do. I will ignore the itch and to scratch to remove these and replace them with one of these for now. But only for now. Okay, so do we need to look at contamination barrier? Probably. Let's just buy the thing. So here, I don't think it's going to be a problem because I think we'd get away with just saying all along here. Although there is the gap underneath, so actually maybe it can't be done that way. Not sure how that would work with this, to be fair. But if that was to come 20 days, that's okay. The last one was 22, so this should hold out quite nicely. And obviously we've got double the space anyway. This will dry up fairly quickly, actually. We are going to be in trouble with power, so let's just pause this guy, and this guy. As long as we can keep explosives and this going and we're not eating into these, which we're not. As long as the wind blows, we should be fine. We will run out of bad water though, so that's probably going to see the back of these guys doing anything anyway. Go in a hole, and you should be lovely water. We're not quite full on water, but we will be. Still very sorely tempted to deal and change these floodgates, but I'm not gonna. Need to slow my roll. Where was we? We was discussing this. Now, with the gap underneath, I don't think we can do anything about them. There's never any solid ground unless we were in here itself, but I don't know if that'll work. And again, it's not so much there that's the problem, it's here. Yes, not sure how to tackle these. I don't think there's any way we can really separate them. No, without going all the way down and rebuilding all of this on a elevated fashion, which, while a cool project, probably not for right now. As we could achieve the same thing if we blasted all of this out. A couple of layers and then just build it back up with platforms and overhangs and all that kind of good stuff. That might be the way for it. I'll have a think about that one. How are we getting underneath here? Moving along nicely, but there's not anything they can do as we're out of bad water. Is this worth sending someone up to get? Probably not. I wonder then, if we went and said... where is it? That can be reached, although is more central better. Lay that there. I've long since cut off access up here, so let's just put that back in. But if we did this to up here, now we could in theory send people down here to pump what little bit of bad water's in there, but it's probably not worth it, to be honest. So that construction up there, actually, might not be too bad. I'm pretty sure I said grilled spatterduck. Did I not say grilled spatterduck? You can just become spatterduck. That's potatoes, that's okay. So that should keep this grill busy at all times, at least until that's full, which is fine. We can pause that. We'd ever be with absolutely nothing to do, which is fine. So I think what might be a good idea is to also chuck in a spare builder's hut. Because why not? I think we've only got this and this one anyway. So yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a hardship for them. This will be. And again, planks will be a problem. We should have 1 million of those. If we could get all 2,000 in there by the end of this, that'd be nice. I don't think we'll get there, but we might. You never know. Yeah, logs are kind of full, so we need to find a home for logs. I'm unconvinced I'm ever going to be building anything along here, but this could become the storage area up here. So I may just do that and just say is it not? It's not deep enough. Because there's a gap underneath. Okay. So if they can't go there, need somewhere where it's going to be nice and out of the way, but not a problem for future. I don't think we're coming underneath here, so let's just say put that there. While we're here, we may as well say goodbye to the logs that are up here as well, because let's face it, we picked everything else clean, so we may as well pick this clean. So let's goodbye to the trees here. And then in terms of, they can cut them here, zip up the line to here, drop them in here, so that's doubled our capacity. There's no point in you doing anything, so go do something else. It's probably a good idea to say pause that for now. Let's say this is bad water. Supply. Need to set supply? I don't think we do. Just leave it be. I am actually going to flip these around, so let's just say that's that. This is now bad water. So hopefully they can come and swap those over. It gives these guys a bit less of a distance to run. You don't have the gears for it, so you might need to turn some of those on. Although right now, that is slowly going up. Aha. Let's fix that with a path. Problem solved. So, bad water here, bad water there. That's probably also going to be bad water. That gives us quite a lot. Are they doing underneath here? They just stopped. Oh, is it too far? Tell me again. Oh, is that too far? What's going on here? Ah. Well, I've figured out the mystery. Well. Whoopsie daisy. Let's just do this. Just get that done. And then they should get back underneath here to fix the problem with the mud and dirt being in the way of our farming extravaganza. Here they come. I'm surprised they got as much done as they did without that being connected. But yes, that was originally a wall, and they were facing the wall, which made sense at the time. But like here, there's a lot in bits back, aren't we? I guess if that's not going to be a thing. Cool. All right, so that should, with any luck, don't seem to be wanting to do that in any particular order that I've told them to do it in, but whatever. It'll be fine. We probably are also going to need to look at fixing our gravity battery problem as well. Not that it's a problem, but it certainly will need adding to. So I'm going to say, stupidly, and this is going to become the most important thing we have. We don't have the gears for it, but we will soon. Oh, it's connected here. Good. Well, that this dual connection here surprised me, that even though I know that I did it in several million episodes ago, but whatever. We are fine. But I think maybe 2-3 of these is enough to keep this going for at least some amount of time. Until the wind kicks in again. I don't want to build too many because gears are a problem, so hopefully old Jammy Zax here can hook us up with some gears to finish it at least. We've got more than halfway, so beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. How's the reservoir doing? So we have done what? It was 20 days, so we've done 12. We're not even halfway down yet. Yeah, so it's 8 high. So yes, I'm convinced we're in a good spot for this. It could be expanded some more, I guess, but probably not really worth it. Not without channeling this out and leveling it out. We could level this out, to be fair. Probably something for next time. No goods selected. I've been logs, please. Have they picked up all the logs that were down here? They have not. It's fine. Don't worry too much about that. So with any luck, that means they can cut these trees down and we get some growing. Not sure we'll need to be too concerned with this. These are not going to die. These are already dead. As are these. We could put a little pool in up here, to be fair. We still have access? Yes, we do. see then. So realistically, we need to get down here. Landscaping and tunnels. Let's just suggest that that should greenify a bit more of that area. I would like to see them do this sooner rather than later though, so let's just say bit of a trek for them. I'm not sure which direction they'll come from, to be honest, but we'll see. It's fairly well connected because we can just scoot up here. Bit of a zigzagging, but not that we can do anything with it at the minute, but yeah, what it does mean we can do, thinking about it. No, we can't because we're not playing the experimental monster. There's no things. It's fine. I was excited for a moment. I thought we'd be able to get ourselves some spiral staircases, but alas, that is not something we can do. It's not the version we're playing. So this is going to have to be a normal set of stairs to go down once that's in. Well, once we delete the thing on top. And that should be able to get the rest of that dug out. And I don't believe it'll make any holes, not according to the old terrain tool anyway, as there's solid underneath it. So we can leave that alone. Water is full, which is perfect to see. So these guys should be doing absolutely nothing. Probably don't need two running. Just see how they're doing underneath here. Okay, so they are coming along quite nicely with that. We're going to start complaining about paths, but we can fix that. So irrigation back here is going to be a problem by the looks of that. Which is good to know. So we'll need to solve that mystery as well. See what that looks like when we get there. Yeah, we know about you. Are you done? Well. Yes, you are. You can return to the workforce and do something else. It's not worth worrying about that right now. 4 days, we're going to get all of the bad tide stuff back in. Tide, bad water. It's not going to be a bad tide, it's going to be a temperate cycle, and it will be good, clean water for these guys. I think extending this was the wisest move. So I guess this thing will probably serve us for 30 days then, in theory, depending on how much we're pumping, to be fair. That is a big question. Okay, so not much of that left, but we do need to get these guys back in here soon. We do need 3 down in here, also soon. But I think we'll run up to the end of the next cycle and probably call this episode here. I'm in a good spot, I think, so I'll do the little catch up of what we've got up to. Doesn't seem like a lot, but I think it is. So this mission for these guys should, in theory, give us the good grounding for putting in a farm down here. Even though it's in a cave, it grows again. Beaver logic and makes sense to them, along with the engineering of supporting a mountain. On these, as I said earlier, zip lines are in. And they are getting us all about where we need to be. I don't believe there's any real concerns. It could be worth putting a zipline station up here to maybe make this a little bit more efficient. Let's just see. I mean, 1, it fits, and 2, it reaches, so... might speed some things up. So let's lay it in, because why not? They can work on that anyway, so that's something for them to do. Probably could do with some more places to put scrap, to be fair. Storage is, yeah, pitiful. Okay, so it might also be something to say that, again, I was wrapping up and getting distracted. Let me put this in and I'll stop getting distracted. Yes, so we have fixed a lot of storage problems. The zip lines are getting us out and about where we want all the beavers to be, without walking too far, even with their 9-foot beaverness. This has paid for itself. Hopefully they can, I'll have done this down here. So what I'm hoping this will do is feed this with water to keep this area a little bit greener, so we can, once these get cut, they can get replanted. They should last an amount of time. Quite how long, I'm not sure, but in theory, we could make it deeper if we wanted to be honest. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. But this area obviously struggles with keeping stuff growable when there's no water that's currently running, so that should be fine. Food could be better. We're full on, I guess, the broad strokes of things, so we've obviously got not many carrots, but don't think that's too much of a problem. We have more than enough grilled potatoes. We are probably needing to start looking at long-term storage for the raw ingredients as well as the cooked goods. Because we don't actually have a lot done. So, I mean, there are some sunflowers, but they're going to go in here. Wheat and bread, that's coming. We're going to need to build the entire production chain for that. But again, that's going to be on one of the farming levels. We will need to flip these ladders, I think, at some point, just so that's actually growable. Cattails, not sure we're ever going to get to be fair. What else can they make? Maples we don't have any of. We could look at that. So cycle 24, day 1. Hopefully this is a nice long-term let's get these back going. Should start spinning, so let's get gears rolling. Not sure we need metal, but why not? Anyway, so as I was saying, lots out of berries. We probably could do with. We don't really need it, but we can get someone to pick them, I suppose. So yes, that will about do us for this episode, I think. The power returns, the water returns. It will probably take a while to start overspilling, to be fair, but it should mean we can get these all pumping. And not that we need it, but the stocks are looking good for water and logs and everything else. So yeah. Anyway, if you have any comments, please chuck them down below. I do read them, and there's been some great suggestions from you guys, so that has been very useful. Especially turning off these from being cut was a great idea. So yes, anyway, thank you for watching. See you guys next time, and take care.